I don't think Crawford's going to put him away, and I think Canelo's a much better mover than people give him credit for. And I think Crawford will be hit more and hit harder than he's ever been hit before, but I don't think he'll go out or down.
Consistent with Terence Crawford's fight schedule over the last several years, where he's been pretty much fighting one time a year. That one time a year is clearly giving him a lot of time to rest and recover from his injuries.
Boxing experts are pointing out a major flaw in Terence Crawford's recent training footage. Gareth revealed that although he originally favored Crawford to defeat Canelo Alvarez, his stance has shifted. As fight night draws near, he now leans toward Canelo, predicting Crawford will face punches he has never endured before. This change highlights growing doubts about Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's power and truly survive at the elite level.
If you like this, please subscribe Punch Vista and click the bell icon for more latest and interesting videos.
Early on, very close rounds in the first 3 or 4. We'll be divided on who's winning. I think Canelo will get going in the second third of the fight and land some big shots. I think Crawford will look good as well. Rounds 6 to 9, we'll be looking at who's getting ascendancy in the fight. Crawford will have weathered the storm of the big Canelo punches, countered himself, still close rounds. I think Canelo will push away and in my view will win the fight, because I don't think Crawford's going to put him away, and I think Canelo's a much better mover than people give him credit for, and I think Crawford will be hit more and hit harder than he's ever been hit before, but I don't think he'll go out or down, and if he does go down, he'll get up. I think it'll be a very, very close affair. And I think even if in those last 6 rounds, Crawford's got Canelo's number in terms of movement and timing, I still think if it's very close in rounds, I think it'll either be a draw or a narrow points decision for Saul Canelo Alvarez that everybody feels is very controversial, and then they'll do it again. That's how I see it playing. That's the plot, if you like, with the subplots in the drama of one of the biggest fights we've seen in Vegas.
Gennady Golovkin's trainer delivered a sharp prediction that Terence Crawford may not be able to maintain stamina at the higher weight division. He believes Crawford could begin struggling as early as the 4th round. The reason is the sudden change in body size and added muscle mass, which may slow him down. Since Crawford has never competed at this weight before, the trainer argues the adjustments are massive. Carrying extra weight can make even great fighters feel heavy, drain energy quickly, and lead to early frustration. If Crawford fails to control his pacing under such conditions, he could burn out before reaching the middle rounds.
Triple G's former trainer said that Crawford's gonna be quick in the first 4 rounds, but once Canelo figures him out and actually starts hitting Terence Crawford, in which Sanchez described as, quote, like a huge truck hitting him, it'll be game over for Terence Crawford. He explained that Crawford may not have the legs for someone like Canelo in the 168-pound division. Sanchez also added that if Canelo was eventually going to be Crawford's endgame, then Crawford should have jumped weight divisions a while back. Now, Crawford could have technically done that after the Spence fight. However, his once-a-year fight schedule prevented that from happening.
Reports are circulating that Terence Crawford may have developed a shoulder problem midway through his preparations for the Canelo Alvarez fight. Although no official confirmation exists, the possibility alone has alarmed analysts and fans. This issue is particularly concerning because Crawford's career has usually been managed carefully with just 1 or 2 fights yearly. That schedule gave him recovery time and ensured he entered the ring at full strength. The quick turnaround now has not given him that luxury, meaning any lingering discomfort could last into fight night. A shoulder injury cannot be overlooked in boxing. Every element of a fighter's arsenal, from fast, accurate punching to blocking shots and controlling distance, depends on shoulder health. Even a mild strain could reduce Crawford's hand speed or power, making it harder to earn Canelo's respect. Beyond the physical toll, such an injury could also burden him mentally, leaving hesitation during key exchanges. Against a heavy-handed veteran like Canelo Alvarez, any hesitation could prove disastrous. If the injury is genuine, Crawford faces a steep uphill battle. Entering the ring at less than 100% against Canelo's caliber leaves almost no margin for error. What was already viewed as a risky challenge may become even more dangerous if Crawford cannot trust his shoulders for speed, strength, and defense.
Training camp and in every single solitary fight, a guy that is as old as Terence Crawford, 37, 38 years old, is going to have some type of injuries. They're going to have some type of old nagging type of stuff, especially a guy that works as ridiculously hard as Terence Crawford does. That was just a matter of time before wear and tear is going to start going and things are going to start popping off and going wrong, right? Also, you can tell that the reason that this is kind of consistent with Terence Crawford's fight schedule over the last several years, where he's been pretty much fighting one time a year. That one time a year is clearly giving him a lot of time to rest and recover from his injuries and gives his body time to heal up. And as a result, he's ready to go during fight time. So I wouldn't put too much on this. I would say though that if you're a gambling person, man, you should probably want to keep your money in your pocket for this particular fight, man, because this thing can absolutely positively go either way with between the two of these guys. Canelo Alvarez is an exceptional fighter, much bigger than Terence Crawford is, or been fighting at a much bigger weight class than Terence Crawford's been fighting at, and much more experienced at that level at 168 pounds. But Terence Crawford is just such a superb fighter and such an intelligent fighter in there that you can know that he's going to be coming there to fight, and he's got a significant chance to win that fight. Unless, of course, that injury is real. I mean, and it is significant and is preventing him from, really sitting down on his punches, because he's going to have to at a point in time with Canelo Alvarez is going to have to do something to get him up off of him.
Keith Thurman offered a grounded perspective on the showdown. He emphasized that Canelo Alvarez, although not undefeated, remains extremely dangerous. Thurman noted every fighter has weaknesses, but that does not mean they can easily be exploited. He stressed that Canelo's experience, skill, and toughness make him a man who cannot be underestimated. Losses in boxing do not always define careers, and in Canelo's case, they have shaped him into a more complete competitor. Thurman highlighted that the belief Canelo is beatable does not automatically guarantee Crawford's success, since Crawford must rise to a level he has never yet displayed against someone of Canelo's size and pedigree. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next.